I really didn't want to make this video because it's going to be so embarrassing. But I'm already running out of ideas, so here we go. Hi, my name is Effie, and well, you read the title. I'm in my 20s now, which means I've endured 2 decades of constant embarrassment. I think the most embarrassing period of my life is probably when I was aged 11 to 15. When I was 11, I had my first proper introduction to anime, which, being the impressionable kid I was, that led me down a very dark path. So today, let's add another embarrassing memory for me to look back on in 10 years, and let's expose my teenage self for being the idiot I was. So I'm so excited. It's really not surprising that I got into anime. I grew up with a dad who had 6 Lord of the Rings posters up in the living room from the time I was born to the time I turned 17. And not only that, he collected Lord of the Rings and Star Wars merch, and he also made me and my siblings play World of Warcraft the moment we were old enough to make an account. And my mom? Well, she plays solitaire. I was screwed from the beginning. The short version of how I got into anime is that someone I used to chat with online recommended one to me. But there was one problem. 2 videos ago, you might remember that I mentioned that when I was younger, I was scared of my siblings finding out I watched anime because if they ever found out, they would make fun of me. So when I discovered that I watched an anime and liked it, I was ready to take that secret to the grave. So with that in mind, my behavior at first wasn't really all that bad. I mean, sure, I wrote a 300-page original story that made up of reskinned fairy tale characters I like to draw, but that's just normal kid stuff, you know? It's all fine. People do that, right? Right? But that's not to say that things didn't get worse over time. I mean, I wouldn't be making this video if it didn't get worse. By the time I turned 12 and was entering 7th grade, I was still very determined to keep my secret, but I wasn't doing a great job. Number 1, I started acting like a moody anime protagonist. I sighed a lot. I glared off into the distance with my face resting on my palm, and I acted like the whole world was against me. I can't tell if this is a result of watching too much anime or just too many hormones, but I can tell you that mixing the two is deadly. Number 2, I tried cutting my bangs so I could look like Hatsune Miku, and well, my science teacher of all people made fun of me, so I stopped that real quick. Yeah, my high school bully was my science teacher. Fuck that guy. Number 3, I wore this outfit. My inspiration was anime girl school outfits typed into Google, and then I rummaged through my closet and found anything that looked remotely like the pictures. That's all pretty tame, right? Well, I'm gonna need you to buckle up for this next part. 8th grade, I was ages 13 to 14. We have a lot to go through. I'm not gonna give any context. We're just gonna say it and move on. Alright, here we go. I started making anime noises. I would go, oh god, sorry, I just almost vomited saying that. When I took a bite out of food, and I started doing the dramatic anime gasp. I was so desperate to become an anime girl that I started to blink like one, doing the dramatic slow blink whenever I got the chance. I made my best friend listen to Vocaloid. She didn't like it. I then begged that same friend for weeks to watch Monica Magica because it was cute and you'll really love it. I knew what I was doing. I learned the Hara Hara Yukai and Lucky Star opening dances and performed them in my room every single night, pretending like I was Hirano Aya in front of thousands and thousands of fans. I then proceeded to do the Hara Hara Yukai dance in front of a guest my friend's sister had over, and once I was done, she asked me, "Are you a cheerleader or are you just weird?" I then learned 20 Love Live choreographies and would proceed to perform them alone in my room, pretending like I was performing for my millions of fans. One time, I was trying to do my best Monica Kaname impression to my aforementioned friend over a Skype call, and my dad scolded me and, in the nicest way possible, said I was being annoying. I began my yaoi phase. I saw some shit. And as if that wasn't bad enough on its own, I used to daydream in class about all of the love scenes that I saw. I then began to draw said love scenes in my notebook in class instead of taking notes. I almost failed that class. I used to pretend to host a web show as an idol in my room alone at night, which is when I learned how to make my voice sound like this. My mom would discover me doing this one night. She told me to stop. I didn't stop. I replaced the web show with karaoke, where I pretend to perform songs live in the same voice. One night, I performed the Tokyo Ghoul opening. That was the night my dad walked in. He told me to stop. I didn't stop. I began to record myself singing covers alone at night using my webcam microphone. And I still have every single one. Wait a minute. I still do a lot of these things. Could it be... Am I... cringe?